Hello, my name is Julie and this is KS Mom Crochets, and today is going to be Crochet Podcast number 25. So I don't really have anything finished to show you. I have two small projects that I will show you, but I really haven't finished anything. So in one of my other podcasts, I mentioned that I had went and seen my family, and I went and seen my sister Lisa, and she asked me if I would make her some washcloths. So for Christmas last year, what I did for my sisters and my dad is I did the towel topper cowl that Pamela from Pamela's Adoring Crochet had going on. I did that, and I made different towels, toppers, and I gifted those to them for Christmas, but I also added washcloths in their box. Well, my sister really loves using those crocheted washcloths that I made her, and she asked me to make her some more. So that is what I did work on a little bit this week, and I did finish two of them, I guess you could say, but this one, I finished this one, and I haven't weaved in my ends yet, but that's okay. But I have this book right here, and it is called 200 Crochet Blocks, and it is by Jan Eaton. And so it's got different blocks in here that you can make, or squares. I really like this book a lot because at the beginning it has like a pictorial index, so you can just kind of see the squares at a glance, which I think is really awesome. The only thing that I don't like about this book is after square 100, I'm pretty sure, yeah, after square 100, there really isn't 200 different crochet squares in here, because if you'll notice, like on this square, all those squares are the same square. They just used different colors, but they are counting them as different squares. So essentially there are less than 200 different squares in here, but I still really love this book. There's also ideas of how you can take different squares and put them together. I really love this one right here. I would love to make a pillow out of that. I don't know if I'll get around to it this year. This square right here with the kind of a graph in it kind of intimidates me a little bit, but I do really love the look of those squares. What is that, 4 different squares put together, and I really love the look of that. But anyway, I digress again. That's normal though, right? So for this square, I have to be really careful because I don't want to show the patterns, but I did do the lemon peel square, and this is how it turned out. I used a 6mm hook, and I just followed the pattern just like it was, and this is a really nice washcloth. I used Premier Home Cotton in the color Rosy Cheeks for this, and I love that colorway. And like I said, I did not weave in my ends yet, but that won't take but just a minute. But what I decided to do is I wanted to use up some of my cotton, so I wanted to just go ahead and use this whole entire skein. So after I got done making this wash rag, I went ahead and just did a simple granny, and finished up the rest of that skein. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work from that book and make different squares, and then whatever yarn I have left over, I'm just going to make granny squares out of it, because I know that these are holy, but I love using just a plain granny square washcloth. They work just as good as any other stitch, and I like making granny squares. So this one is a little bit smaller because I ran out of yarn. I mean, this is how much yarn that I had left, so I didn't have enough to go all the way around. So I may actually add like another color to this and make it just a little bit bigger. But she said that she liked the square washcloths better than the circle ones because I did make some circles for her. But I think that if I do one more round, it will make it almost as big as this one right here. But that's my plan, and I'm not going to put any borders on these washcloths. I'm just going to make the squares, and I'm not going to worry about borders because it's just to wash dishes or counters or whatever she wants to use them for. So I do have like a little bag here. This is my Coffee and Crochet with Sarah bag, but I have a bunch of different cotton yarns in here, and I'm just going to make a bunch of different washcloths for her. So that is all of my finished objects. I just didn't get anything finished. I started a lot of things, so I just didn't get anything finished. So I'm just going to go right on into works in progress, and we will talk about that. So I'm just going to show you this blanket. I have been working on my stained glass blanket. It is out of the Leisure Arts. Here it is. It is out of this book. Whoops, that's upside down. It's out of this book, 154 Crochet Wave Patterns book. It is by Leisure Arts, but it says that it was designed. The designs are by Darla Sims, and you can find this book on eBay for like $5, maybe $7 at the most. I mean, it's really cheap, and I really like it. It's just all kinds of different chevron and waves and ripple stitches. So I really like this book. But I am doing the, like I said, it's called Stained Glass, and it just looks like the corner to corner stitch, except it is worked back and forth. I'm using an 8mm hook. It is a 1-row repeat, which I love. And I'm using the Premier Puzzle yarn in the color Dodgeball and in the color Sudoku. And this is what I have so far. So I use the whole entire skein of the Dodgeball, and then I attach the Sudoku, and I do have 2 rows of that already. And I think that it is going to be absolutely beautiful when it is done. And like I said, it is really huge. Like, this blanket is going to be really wide. Let's see if I can show it better folded. This is folded in half. Like, this is about the size, maybe a little bit wider, of a normal lap gown that I make. So it is a lot wider than that. But I really love how it is working up. I think those colors are going to look really, really good together. And I'm really excited about it. And this is a Christmas gift. So I'm not in a big hurry to finish it. But it is fun to work on because it's nice and mindless. And I'm really enjoying that stitch. And I can see more blankets in my future out of that stitch because it's a lot of fun to do. So that is work in progress number 2. Sorry, I dropped the pattern so that I could show it to you. So I started another Dumplin Designs doll. This is Blueberry Cupcake, and like I said, this is Dumplin Designs, and it is the Lollipop Lane. This pattern was made in 1984, I'm pretty sure. And I got this pattern off of eBay. So, I did show one of the dolls that I finished. And that was for my oldest daughter, Caitlin. And this is for my younger daughter, Shaylee. She really wanted this doll. So, I'm using a 4mm hook because the doll head that I'm using is only a 4-inch head, and they want you to use a 4 1/4 inch head on this. So I needed to go down a hook size to make it fit around the doll head, my chain. So this is all that I have so far. I think, no, I did do an arm. So I have the body and I have an arm with the hand attached. So I did add another row to this body to make the legs. So let's just pretend this is a leg, because you want the legs kind of lower so that they can so that you can see the shoes better, especially when you make the ones with dresses. So I did add another row to the body. I think on my last one that I read the directions for the decreasing wrong. But this one worked out a little bit better. So this is what I have so far. And like I said, he is going to be super cute. So you make his body and his legs and everything, and then he has these little overalls that go over top of that, and that is separate. And then he also has his little hat, which I'm really excited about. And I did have someone mention, Kathy mentioned on my last one, where is the ice cream cone? Well, I asked my daughters if they wanted me to make like the cupcake, like he is making, or he is holding a blueberry cupcake, and the last one was holding an ice cream cone, and they said no, not to make it, so I didn't. But he does have like the berries on his hat, the blueberries on his hat, and I will make those to go on his hat. But I'm really excited about him. I just have not worked on him as much as I wish that I had, because I really wanted to get him done sooner rather than later, but startitis, I'm telling you, it's a real thing. So like I said, I'm using a 4mm hook on him, and I'm using all Big Twist value yarn. This color is called Varsity Blue, because he has two different colors of blue on him. He has like a lighter blue and a darker blue. And then I am using the scrap ball steel of my Red Heart Bunches of Hugs in the color Splash. And I think those colors complement each other well. So I'm using those two blues. And then, sorry about the crinkle here, I have that in a little plastic bag it came in. And then I'm also using this green, which is the Big Twist value in the color Forest Green. And then my last color will be for like his hat and his shoes, I think. And this is another Big Twist value in the color Camel. And that is about true to color right there. So I think that will make a nice looking straw type hat for him. So that is what I have going on with Blueberry Cupcake. And like I said, I'm really excited about these patterns. They are so much fun to work on. And I think why I like them so much is because your face is already done. Your hair is already done. The hands are already there. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to worry about those details. And for me, the hardest part about making dolls is getting their face right. And with these, you already have your head. You know, you don't have to worry about it. So that is the third work in progress. Excuse me. Now, my next work in progress is a pattern test that I'm doing. I did get permission to talk about this on my podcast. She's already showed it on her channel once. But I will come on and tell you all when this pattern is released, because the pattern has not came out yet, is not available for purchase. But I will, you know, tell you when it is available to be purchased. So this is the pattern Mr. Barksalot by Crystal over at Chronically Crocheting. She was so kind to let me test her pattern, and I'm so excited about it. So I will pop up his picture so that you can see what he looks like, or will look like, when he is all done. This pattern calls for a 5 bulky yarn, but you can use any yarn that you would like. It's just going to come out smaller. If you use a 4-weight or a smaller yarn, you would just adjust your hook size as needed. So in her pattern, since I am testing this pattern, I wanted to use the same size yarn and the same hook size that she used. That's just because that's just what I wanted to do. So I had one skein of this Premier puzzle in the color Backgammon, and I'm using a 5mm hook with the Premier puzzle yarn, but you do also have to use a some 4-weight yarn because it has white patches on its eyes, and it has the snout is a different color, and it uses a 4-weight yarn. So I will be using a 4mm hook also. So for instance, if you decide to get this pattern when it is released and you want to use a 4-weight yarn, you could just use a 3-weight yarn for the accents. I mean, for like the muzzle and stuff. So I mean, it's really customizable. So this is the color that I'm thinking about using for the snout. I don't know yet if I'm going to stick with that, but this is what I have picked out so far. And this is a Crafter's Secret yarn, and I'm not sure if they still have this color or not, but it is called Light Taupe. And then I will also be using white for the eyes. Now I have some pieces here that I have got done already, and I will show those to you all. So I have got the body made so far. So this is what the body is looking like with the Premier puzzle yarn. And then I did do the tail. So the tail will go on something like that. If you can see that. This yarn's a little dark. I wanted some boyish colors because I am wanting to give this to my nephew when it's done. But this is the body, like I said, and then I did start an ear. So this is what I have so far on the ear. And I think it folds up like this, and then, you know, you just keep going. But this is the ear so far. So it's coming along, and it's working up really fast. Like, I made this body and the tail and started that ear yesterday, and it's a really easy make so far, and she has done a wonderful job creating this pattern, and I just cannot wait to see it all finished. I'm really excited to do that. And I want to show you one more thing. Okay, sorry. I know this video is kind of all over the place, but that's okay. I did want to show you this. This is also another pattern by Crystal over at Chronically Crocheting. And this is Mr. Purrsalot. So it is the cat version of the dog. And the body shapes are very similar, if you can tell. I can't remember what yarn that I used on this because I made this when this pattern very first came out, and I made this for my daughter Shaylee, and she loves it, so it has been very loved. It stays in her bed with her at all times, and she really likes it a lot. And I did, like I said, I wanted to, since I was showing the pattern that wasn't finished, I wanted to show you a pattern that was available to purchase. So he was a lot of fun to make, and I would definitely make this pattern again. He was a lot of fun to make, and her patterns are very reasonable. They are very well priced. So like I said, I will have a link to that pattern and to Crystal's Etsy shop. And I will also come back on later and let you all know when that pattern is released. And I will show you also when I finish it too. But I will let you know when that pattern comes out for sure. Now, I have one more one more works in progress. I know, I have started so many different things. But now my sister Amanda has a daughter, and she, I think she'll be, is she going to be 3? I think she'll be 3. Oh, I hope I said that right. But anyway, she wears a size 3T. But Amanda had sent me a picture of a dress. It was actually a candy corn dress. The colors were in candy corn colors, you know, so it looked like a candy corn outfit. And the dress was for a baby, like a little tiny baby. And I told her, I was like, if you want me to make a dress, I can try to make her a dress. But I kind of wanted to do it in just regular colors. So this is what I have done so far on the dress. Am I showing you the back? Yes, of course I am. So this is what I have done so far, and I am loving it. So I have really been working on this a lot. This is a pattern by Bagoday Crochet, and it is the little ruby rose. It's actually a shirt, but in the video she says that if you just keep going, you can turn it into a dress. So that is what I plan on doing. And I found a size chart online. It's on like I think it's a kids clothes website or something. I'm not really sure what it was, but I found a size chart of the length of dresses for different ages. And I will also link that down below. It's just like a reference chart. I don't even know if it's accurate or not, but I'm going to kind of go by that. But it says for a 3T that dresses are normally from the shoulder to the, the length, that it is usually around 25 inches, I think. So I have a ways to go on this. But, she calls for a 5.5 millimeter hook, and I'm using Red Heart Super Saver Ombre in this colorway, and this is called Anemone, Anemone, I don't know. I have no idea how to say this word, but that is the colorway of this yarn. And this is what I've used. This was a brand new skein, and this is what I have used so far for this dress. So I will definitely have plenty more, or plenty enough to make this. And I'm also going to try to make a bow on one of those alligator clips to go with it. And I think that that will really be cute. Now, Crystal, she uses I think she uses Karen Simply Soft, but I really wanted these colors. I really wanted to use this yarn. And I know this yarn is a little rough at first, but once it's washed, it'll be nice and soft for her. But I am absolutely loving how this color is working up. And I love the stitch that she used on this. It's just so pretty. I will have to go back when I get the length and do some, tightening up here around the armholes and then the neck. I will have to attach yarn and do whatever she tells me to for that. But I'm loving it, and she is such, she's such a good teacher. And I had never made a baby dress. I've made one of her sweaters for Olivia before. I've also made a vest with a hair bow for Olivia, and I made another one of those vests for another little girl that I know also. So I have made a few baby clothes, but this is my first time doing like a toddler dress. So I'm really excited about it, and I'm really excited how it's working out. The only downfall is that I do not have a 5.5 millimeter in a clover hook. So I'm using like one of my knockoff brands that I have, and I hate that hook so bad. It snags, it's not smooth. I think that I would have been a whole lot farther along if I had a clover. I do have one coming, just because I would like to have all of the sizes in clover, and I'm missing quite a few still. But I did switch to a 6mm at the end, but you can tell. I think that you can tell too much. What do you all think? So I think I'm going to go back. I may end up ripping this last row out where I use that 6, because you can tell a difference in the size of the stitches. I didn't think that a 1/2 millimeter would make that much difference. I was thinking, well, the top part is what matters to fit, you know, and then the dress part really didn't matter what size hook. But you can really tell that I used a different size there. So I think I'm just going to stick to my bad hook until I can get my clover in the mail. I'm hoping that it comes soon. So that is my last work in progress. And yes, I know I have a lot going on this week. And I haven't really finished, like, I didn't even really want to count those washcloths as a finished object because, I mean, it's just a square. So, but at least I had something finished to show you, I guess, even though I still need to weave in those ends. But yeah, so that's all of my works in progress. Now, I did get a couple acquisitions. I ordered these a couple weeks ago, and it has took them forever to get in. I ordered them from eBay. I'm trying not to order anything else from eBay, even though I have like so many patterns that I want to buy, like, you know, the older vintage patterns. There's so many that I want to buy. But I mentioned on one of my videos that Diane, or Carol Beck, had made a vintage crochet pattern book type video where she showed some patterns that she had already in her like library. And on that video she showed a doll, and it had a doll dress already made. It was already crocheted, and it was absolutely gorgeous. I fell in love with that doll, and I went on a hunt. I mean, I became kind of obsessed with that a little bit. I did get this doll because of her video, and she is naked, so I'm trying to keep her covered. She doesn't have anything on the back, so I'm going to cover her. But this is her backside, and her hair is really nice, it seems like. But she does not wink at you like the other doll that I got. This is a 15-inch doll. It is a classic doll by Fibre, and I didn't pay that much for her. I think I only paid like $15 for her. She is a lot better made than the other doll. I'm looking at her. She's on the bed. But she is a lot better made than the other doll that I showed. So I'm really happy with her. She's more of like a Barbie doll style doll, like the way that she's made. And she does have little shoes already, which is cool. But they do sell patterns for these dolls, as you can see. Now, these patterns are not included in here, but there are some different doll dress patterns. And I did find one. I actually found the exact pattern that Diane showed in her video, but it was on Etsy. Now, I like to have the written, like the actual physical copy. So I did find a doll dress that was similar to the one that she showed in her video, if not the same. It's just different colors in the picture. So I will be getting that. That will be an upcoming acquisition, because that doll, like I said, I fell in love with that doll. In the camera, it looked red and green, the colors, and it just screamed Christmas. And I want to make that for myself for Christmas. Actually, my birthday is 5 days before Christmas, so it could be a birthday present for myself too. But I want to do that. That is definitely going to be upcoming. I just absolutely loved that doll, and this doll looks just like the one, or similar to the one that she showed. And like I said, I did find a dress pattern. I just don't have it yet. I haven't actually bought it yet, but when I get it, I will show it to you all. So another thing that I got was this book right here, Pairs of Bears by Jan Hatfield. And if you all watch Cassandra over at Craftably Ever After, you have already seen this book. I did go out and find this book on eBay as soon as she showed it. It just took a really long time for me to get it. I don't know why, but that's okay. But she remade these bears, and there are different sets. She made these Christmas bears here, and she made this bear right here. And if you have not seen her videos, you have got to go check out Cassandra, because she did an excellent job in these pictures, like especially these two right here. They look a little scary, but she took these patterns and she just made them so cool. Like, she did such an awesome job on them. So I did get this book because I wanted to try to make some of these bears too. My favorite was this one with the little frilly dress, or even this one in a different color. But I kind of like that dress the best. So that is one that I want to make. I have a lot going on right now, so I don't know when I'll get to it. But I did buy that, and I will have some bears in my future because I love bears. So I do have one more thing that I bought, even though I shouldn't be buying anything because I gotta get all these school clothes for my kids and stuff, and I need to quit buying yarn. But I did get this from Joann's. I got 2 skeins of the Big Twist White. As you notice, I did not go over my Emma doll dress. I did work on her a little bit, but I only worked on the slip because that is the biggest part of the pattern, or the widest part of her dress. And so it doesn't really look like I made any progress on it, so I'm not going to show it until it actually looks like I did something on it. But I mentioned that I was going to just mix the whites with the mainstays white at Walmart. I went to Walmart. I didn't buy any, but I looked at it, and to me it could have just been the lighting in Walmart, but to me it did not look as bright white as this yarn does. So I was afraid to do that because I want it to come out nice. So Joann's had like a cheap shipping or something, so I just went ahead and got 2 skeins of this Big Twist White. That way I had some white, so that's not very exciting. But I did get this Red Heart Super Saver Retro Stripes. I absolutely love this color. I have used this before. I made a star blanket out of this yarn, and this skein is a lot softer than the yarn that I used last, which was a year or 2 ago that I made that. But this skein feels a lot softer than the last Retro Stripes that I had in this colorway. Not super soft, but you know, it feels like normal Red Heart. The other one felt really plasticky, but it washed up really soft. So that's the good thing about Red Heart, is it does wash up soft. But I have seen quite a few people show this yarn recently, and I almost bought it like a week or 2 ago, and I talked myself out of it, and then I decided I'm just going to get it. I'm getting this white yarn. Why not just get 1 skein? But I really want to do something with this yarn. I kind of have an idea in my head, but we'll see what I do. But like I said, I did get just 1 of those, and that's all that I got. So, yeah, that's all my acquisitions. Like I said, I'm gearing my kids up for school, so I'm trying not to buy stuff, but it is so hard, especially since I am just so, like, engrossed in looking at these vintage patterns, especially those doll dress patterns. Like, I really want to get some doll dress patterns for this size doll, because like I said, it is a 15-inch doll. So, and it's a little bit narrower, like its body's made different, so I couldn't use like the Emma dress or anything like that to fit that doll because it wouldn't work. So, yeah, we'll see how long that I can keep from buying stuff, because I just know I'm not even going to say I'm on a ban or anything like that, because I'm sure next podcast I will have something to show you, because that's how it goes. I'm a, what do they call it? Like a penny and nickel yourself to death type of person. I'm like, I can spend $5 on something, but if it's like 20 or 25, I can't do that. But if it's like $5, you know, I'll spend $5 here and $5 there. And then, you know, don't realize that, hey, that adds up, you know. I don't know why I'm like that, but I just am. But I'm trying to make sure. I think that's everything that I have for you all. I know this is another long podcast, but that's okay. That's completely fine. And I hope that you all enjoy this. I can't wait to get some of these projects finished so that I can show you. So hopefully I will have more finished objects in my next podcast. So yeah. So until next time, I will see you in the next video. Bye.